Hey, can Terence Crawford be sued by the WBC? This is what somebody was asking me. And I told him, you know what, I don't know. But what I do know is Terence Crawford is not an employee. You know what I'm saying? He's not employed by the WBC. Crawford is an independent contractor. He's a prize fighter. The WBC is a sanctioning body. They're not an employer. So get that out your mind, all right? You generally can't sue someone just for dropping your belt, refusing to comply with your rankings, refusing to pay the sanctioning fee, or choosing another fight. So there's no employee contract, no legal leverage, is how I understand it. Now remember, I don't know 100%. This is just me with a little bit of research I've done, and I'm like, shit. The belts are voluntary. There's no binding contracts. Holding a WBC belt is optional. Fighters agree to pay and sanctioning fees, follow rules only while holding the title. I don't know, man, because a fighter can vacate the belt, decline mandatories, walk away at any time. Once Crawford gives up the belt, the relationship ends. Now, what's the one thing I don't really understand is Crawford, according to Mauricio Suleiman, Crawford didn't pay the sanctioning fees after he fought Madrimov, which he didn't get a WBC belt. See, I don't understand. Maybe Madrimov meant to say Canelo, but it made it sound like he didn't pay sanctioning fees after Madrimov, and then with Canelo, he chose not to pay the sanctioning fees. So see, that's what I said. If only the fly on the wall could talk, did we know what was really going on with Crawford, Suleiman, the sanctioning bodies, and the fees. Now, what I can tell you is boxing has a long legal history with antitrust issues. If the WBC tried to sue Crawford for fighting who he wants, leaving the belt behind public criticism, they'd risk serious antitrust exposure. But see, it doesn't say anything about the sanctioning fees. That's why I said I don't know if they have any ground to sue Crawford over the sanctioning fees. But that's the same legal territory that hurt promoters historically and forced sanctioning bodies to tread lightly. So this could be why Suleiman's just like, I'm just leaving it alone. I don't want to go after him because you know what? If he goes after Crawford and tries to sue him, well, they could get real ugly. Because if there's some shady business practices going on, all that shit's going to get exposed. But for those who are like, well, what can the WBC do? I think the WBC's real power is political, not legal. They can strip him, freeze him out of rankings, which they've already said they're doing. Favor other fighters, publicly criticize them. They've done all that. And they said Crawford can't fight any fighter who's ranked by the WBC. But if they're ranked by another sanctioned body, they can't stop Crawford from fighting him. He just can't fight for the WBC belt, which Crawford doesn't care. Now, as far as him publicly criticizing the WBC, even then, suing would be difficult. They'd have to prove defamation, false statements of fact, malicious intent, actual financial harm. Look, opinion doesn't equal defamation. Criticism doesn't equal lawsuit, all right? And that's for those of y'all, too, who want to comment about some of the videos YouTubers are doing, the content creators are doing on different platforms. They're giving their opinion on somebody. That's not defamation. And if they criticize them, that's not a lawsuit. So y'all need to hold your horses. Stop taking it to the stupid. But athletes criticize leagues and sanctioning bodies all the time. This ain't nothing new. So has this ever happened before? I mean, not successfully. Plenty of fighters have vacated belts. Mayweather, Canelo, Fury, Pacquiao. Ignored mandatories, publicly clashed with sanctioning bodies. None was successfully sued for it. So the bottom line is the WBC has zero realistic legal grounds to sue Crawford. I think their power ends at rankings, belts, public narrative. Crawford's power is star value, market leverage, freedom to choose opponents. And that's why fighters at his level increasingly treat belts as optional accessories, not obligations. So I'm just not sure about the sanctioning fees. But what I will say is the WBC may just leave that alone because all this stuff they claim they do with that money they're getting in and help retired fighters and they help this person and they help this. If they say they're doing that and they go after Crawford, they're going to have to prove it. And boy, when they start to open up them books and they start to sit there and do the auditing, they may have all kind of shit flushed out that they don't want the world to know. So you watch Crawford, man, get away from this whole thing unscathed, because from where there's smoke, there's fire, and they don't want to expose any smoke. Although Crawford may have done that already as a revolutionary. Y'all keep cool, I'm in the breeze.